press record as well. Still letting people in. So what I'd like you to do now, if that's okay with you, is to please come to a comfortable sitting position. And of course, if you are already tired and you need to lie down, that's fine too. And just make sure that you're not going to be disturbed. And a couple of things, which is that if you don't want to keep looking at your device, you don't need to, because I'm very well aware that looking at screens all the time is tiring. So it's fine to not look at the screen. And then the other thing is to always listen to your body and what feels right for you. So work in a way that feels comfortable and safe. I mean, this is all going to be very easy and very relaxed, but obviously just do what is feeling okay for you. So if it's okay for you, close your eyes. And again, I know not everybody is comfortable having their eyes closed, but if you'd like to close your eyes, please do so. And then just take a moment or two to feel into your body and just observe how you are feeling now, how you are in this moment. Just bringing your awareness to all levels of being. So thinking about how the body is feeling, how the mind is, how your energy is. And then just seeing if you can make that observation without any judgment. So it's almost like you are witnessing yourself. And maybe if you can, you're going to bring compassion to your state of being. So if there is any discomfort there or any fatigue, just allow that to be as it is. So you're doing your best to accept your current experience, not pushing anything away. And then take a moment or two to think about your posture. So just checking that you're evenly balanced over both sit bones if you are sitting. And then creating space from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Just allowing the lower ribs to open. You might like to just roll your shoulders a couple of times just to release them, and then allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears. And then just very gently take the left ear towards the left shoulder, the center, and then right ear towards the right shoulder, and the center. And just do that a couple more times in your own breathing rhythm, working slowly. And then centering the head. And again, just thinking about the posture. So thinking about how your head is, because so many of us, me included, we tend to poke our heads forward in the kind of mobile phone position. So just nod your head up and then lengthen through the back of the neck so you slightly tuck your chin in. So there's no strain, it's just a feeling of lightness. So you're not kind of carrying this heavy weight of your head on your shoulders. Shoulders away from the ears. And then take a moment or two to become aware of your breath. And if you can, breathe through your nose. And if you can, just allow the breath to begin to slow down, as long as you're not straining anything. And then again, if you can, and if it's okay for you, we're going to encourage ourselves with diaphragmatic breathing. If you've got something like long COVID, this might be too much. So don't in any way be anything other than compassionate to yourself. You're just doing what you're able to do today in this moment. But you can take your left hand maybe and place it on your heart, and your right hand and place it on your belly. And we're just going to breathe into the lower hand very gently. So the hand is moving very gently. It's not a deep forced movement, but the hand on the heart is relatively still, the shoulders are still. We're breathing gently into the lower hand. So think of breathing slow and low and gently. And then if it's comfortable for you, just focus on the exhalation. And then with your eyes still closed, release your hands back to your knees. And just allow yourself to make the exhalation slightly longer than your in-breath. And again, that's only if that's okay for you. And then just continue to sit quietly. We're not going into the full meditation yet, but I'm just going to say a few words about the solstice. So I think we all know that at this time, the end of 2021, 21st of December, 2021, there's a lot of fear around at the moment. So it's really helpful for us to remember the positive message that the solstice brings so that we can turn towards what's uplifting in preparation for 2022. The winter solstice marks a demarcation because we're moving from darkness to light, from shorter days to longer one, and to the return of the sun, the return of the globe's journey to the sun. So during this longest day, we might reflect how light always dispels darkness. And we know that even a small flame does this. And there's a really helpful saying, better to light a candle than to worry about the dark. So in terms of neuroscience, there's an expression you might have heard of. It's quite common, and it says that neurons that fire together wire together. And what this means is we become what we give our attention to, because what we focus on actually builds circuits in the brain. So during this solstice and the time that follows, we can maybe be extra mindful of what we input into our systems by not giving attention to anything that makes us too fearful. Instead, we may think about the beauty of nature, connecting with our loved ones, the community support we have here in this group, and most importantly, how we can cultivate inner peace and self-compassion. And just a reminder that yoga is about cultivating inner peace rather than getting caught up too much with what's going on externally. And because peace starts with us and not from the outside world, this winter solstice gives us the opportunity to go inwards, to reflect and inquire how we can bring more harmony and less agitation to our lives. So now if you like to get ready for the meditation, and that means if you want to remain sitting, please do so. If you want to adjust your posture, please do so. But if you want to lie down with covers, that's also fine. I'll just give you a couple of minutes while you prepare yourself. So if you can, just make sure that you're going to be able to sit or lie comfortably for about 25 minutes without moving too much, just checking you're going to be warm enough, because when we relax, the body temperature tends to drop. As always, making sure you won't be disturbed, turning off any phones. I'm in my mother's sitting room as usual at this time of the year, so I've just had to turn her extremely loud phone off. At least I remembered this time. So just as you're preparing yourself, I'm just going to say a few more words. As we're preparing for 2022, and as we go into this meditation, you might like to make an intention for the next year, not to go into division, drama, or take sides on issues, because this just adds to the current chaos of the world and feeds our ego, our sense of being a separate self. And if I can quote Lama Rod Owens here, he says that when we transcend the pair of opposites, that's where we always find true freedom and our awakening. And when we are peaceful, each one of us can then share this inner peace and be a light to the world. So as we meditate on the light in our hearts and our true self behind the ego with all its opinions, we can also contemplate on the rhythms of nature, the seasons, and how we can navigate the not knowing of what is happening in the next moment, the next month, or next year. Change is a constant part of life, so it's helpful to cultivate mindfulness and forbearance. And I think forbearance at this time is a really important word. We need forbearance with what is happening in the world. And we do this by remaining stable in ourselves. And this comes about with deep self-acceptance and attention to our authentic being. So this meditation is going to be about focusing on our authentic being. We're going to start by imagining that our body is filling with light. So I'd like you to start from your feet and imagine that you are hollowing out your feet. And as you hollow them out, they start to fill with light. And then slowly you're going to hollow out the legs. Imagining your legs becoming light filled as the light travels up from your ankles, up to your knees, and then up to the hips. So the whole of your legs are filled with beautiful luminous light. And then we're going to continue filling our torso with light. So the light is traveling up our torso, up from our stomach to our heart, up to our shoulders, and then up the back. So just imagine the whole of your torso is filled with light. And in particular, focus on the area around the shoulders, because that's where we tend to hold our tension. So that might need a little bit of extra light there. And then take the light down the arms, down to the hands. And then back up to the shoulders. And now the neck, hollowing out the neck becomes filled with light. And then the whole of the head. The whole of the body filled with gentle, radiant, pulsating light. The purpose of this scanning is you're going to almost feel like you're parking the body as if you're leaving it for the night in the car park or outside your house, so that you can forget about the body like you would a car, because we're going to take our attention elsewhere in a moment. So now become aware of the breath. Start to watch the breath. And just take your attention now to the out breath. This is called the mind riding the breath. So just ride your attention on the exhalation. If the mind wanders, just bring it back to the exhalation. After a while, you may be beginning to notice that your mind is becoming quieter. As you notice this, you may become aware that you are surrounded by a wall of silence. There may be sounds, but you see that they are coming from the silence. So take your mind off the breath now and rest it on the silence. Just noticing how beautiful the silence is and that the silence is always there. Observe and contemplate that you are the knower of the silence. And you may like to drop the question into the silence. Who am I? If our thoughts, if our feelings, if our bodies are always changing, who am I? What am I? And is this silence something which is always here? See if you can be comfortable with the silence and allow yourself to relax into it. But if at any time it's too much for you, just come back to the body or the breath. Many of us are afraid to be alone with the silence, so we fill our days with chatter and noise. But see this silence as something which is comforting, soothing, and enveloping. Something constant, something which supports you. Even your thoughts come in and out of the silence. Just being aware that you are aware. So I'm going to give you a couple of reflective questions now, if you'd like. And it's always better to ask our reflective questions of the silence rather than of the mind. So think about the qualities you would like to bring into your life for next year to support you on your journey. And meditate on how you can best bring your attention to these. So I'll give you some suggestions, but you might have other ideas. So maybe not rushing so much, being more alone in meditation, being in nature, being kind to yourself, focusing on creative pursuits, just whatever speaks to you and is true for your life. So the question is, how can I bring more peace into my life? Don't think about this. Just drop the question into the silence and let it go. If the mind wanders, see if you can watch the space between the thoughts, or bring the mind back to the out breath, ride on the out breath for a moment or two, and then again fix your mind on the silence, or fix your awareness, rather, your attention on the silence. Again, the reflective question, thinking about the next year. How can I bring more peace into my life? Don't try to answer the question, just drop it into the silence. Just feel into this luminous wall of silence which surrounds you and which is you and which you are witnessing. Another reflective question, if you want to go a little deeper, is, am I the silence or am I the knower of the silence? Start to bring your awareness back to the breath and the rhythm of the breath. And then start to become aware of the body. Again, seeing the body as light filled, feeling this luminous quality of your whole body shining. And then visualizing the space around the crown of your head and just above the crown of your head. As you inhale, draw the breath and the light in through the crown of the head, down the spine, down to the tailbone. And as you exhale, the breath travels up again, up the spine and out through the crown of the head. And see this breath as light. And then become aware of your body. Feel the heaviness of your body. So be aware of heaviness. If you're sitting, be aware of the solidity of your feet and your hips on your seat and your hands on your lap. If you're lying, just feel the heaviness of your body, the weight of your head, shoulders, tailbone. Just feeling the solidity of your support, bringing your awareness into your body. And then just spend a moment or two thinking of somebody you love. And it might be an animal, it might be a family member or a friend or inspirational teacher or guru. Just bringing to your awareness that person. And then just feel that you are sending them light, you're sending them love from your heart. Genuine feeling from your heart. And then direct this feeling of love back to yourself, knowing that this love was never separate from you. It's something that is you too, and that you are worthy of love just as much as your loved one. You're not separate from nature. You're not separate from anything that is. So just direct this love back to yourself. And if you find that hard, you might like to use words like acceptance or compassion, self-compassion. And then thinking of our yoga community here, this lovely supportive community we have, where we really do support each other. Just direct that love out to everybody who's here today in our virtual space. Sending out a feeling of positivity, good wishes for next year, for today. And now, if you're able to, just radiate that love and that peace out to the whole world. Even people and situations you find difficult. Just radiating out love that's too much, acceptance, allowing everything to be as it is. So again, just visualize yourself surrounded by this healing community, nurturing each other, bringing your awareness to the weight of your body again. And then we're going to come out of the meditation now. So when you're ready, just beginning to make gentle movements with your fingers and toes. And if you are lying, Just moving and stretching. If you're sitting, you might also like to take some stretches. If you're lying, when you're ready, roll to one side and stay there for a moment or two. And then finally coming up to a comfortable sitting position. And just to bring ourselves back, we'll rub our hands together, we'll shake out our palms, we'll palm our eyes. And then just look around the space to bring us back into the here and now, to this present moment, just feeling our body as it is on our seat, feeling into the body, feeling into the breath. And then just taking some wake up stretches. We'll take the palms together. Inhale and we open the arms wide. Exhale, palms together. Inhale them open. And exhale. And then if you'd like to join me in a chant, please do so. And as always, if you don't want to chant, then that's fine too. So just going to do a little chant for the sun. So there are many names for the sun in Sanskrit, but one is Surya. So we're going to, I'll just demonstrate first. So do look at your screens for this if you need to. The palms are together in the Namaste mudra over the heart. I'm going to take an in-breath. And then I'm going to take my right arm out to the right. And then I'm going to chant, sorry, this is on the in-breath. And then I'm going to chant the palm back. Surya Namaha. Inhale the left arm out to the side, looking down at the fingers with the gaze, and chant. Surya Namaha. Do that twice more. So inhale out to the right. Surya Namaha. Inhale left. Surya Namaha. Inhale right. Surya Namaha. Inhale left. Surya Namaha. Just sitting quietly now for a moment or two, feeling into the stillness created by the mantra, dropping the awareness into the light in the heart. And then I'm going to close with the words of peace. So if you know them, please join in. I'm going to chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So when you're ready, open your eyes and drop your hands to your knees. So just to say thank you all so much for being here, wishing you all a very happy solstice. And please do, I mean, I say this for myself, what I teach is also what applies to me. Do your best to focus on what is positive rather than all the stuff that's going on in the world around us at the moment. And that way we can maintain our forbearance and our stability. I wish you a really happy Christmas, happy holidays, happy New Year. The next session is on the 5th of January, and that will be taken by my teacher and mentor, Sarah Ryan, because I'm actually traveling back to Spain on that day. And then the first class I'll be teaching will be the 10th of January, where we carry on with our journey into the chakras. So that will be going back to the heart chakra then. So I hope to see you then or whenever, and I'll be announcing the pet competition. We do have a winner that's being announced on Facebook in the next couple of days. So hi Lucy. Looking at you, looking very beautiful there. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. Have a lovely week. Don't get too stressed over Christmas and all the various political rubbish that's going on. Just try and keep the peace in your heart.